Welcome to our first debate presentation for this debate team. And we're hoping to have plenty more, but for now we've been working for 8 weeks on a certain set of skills that you'll be witnessing here today. Some of those skills include public speaking, the art of making a good argument, and the art of defending yourself against another team or another person's argument.
This all started with 7th and 8th graders in particular coming to us and say, hey, we really want a debate team, and they're involved in social studies and politicians debate. So this was all their idea. So we're really proud of what they've accomplished, how far they really have come, and where they're going to go from here. So they worked really hard with this, so we're excited to show them off.
That's right. And for the two topics we're debating today, we've split our team of 13 6th to 8th graders into 4 separate teams, debating 2 topics, with 2 teams on each topic. And they picked the topics. The topics today for these 2 teams is going to be whether or not we should be banning guns. It's a serious topic. These are middle schoolers. Some of the arguments they're going to be making may be difficult to understand, but we're hoping they will be able to phrase them in a way that you can understand it, because after all, their job is to convince you that they're correct. Truly in a debate, they're not arguing each other. They're both trying to convince you, the audience, to agree with them. So we would ask you to listen politely during every presentation, and after each presenter is finished, you can show your appreciation with the polite applause, nothing too crazy, please. And we will be switching back and forth, 1 member from each team back and forth. So the first debate is, should we ban guns? Should there be gun control? And Fatima, as team captain, is going to send up one of her team members first.
Good luck, y'all.
Okay, so my name is Shreiner, and I'm debating about whether guns should be banned. Guns should be banned because they are unnecessary and they are only for like wars. And for example, a couple of weeks ago, there was a teenager at a high school that had a gun in his bag, and around 12 o'clock, I think, he shot some of his friends, like people that were bullying him. If guns are banned, there would be less crimes because most people who rob banks use handguns. In conclusion, guns should be banned because there would be less crimes.
An attacker, a victim, or a shooter. Another point is it would increase animal population to about 20% more than it already is. If guns are banned, then you would most likely see more deer and other animals hit on the side of the road. And that is because the animal population would have increased, especially the deer population. So if an animal population increased, there would be most likely some kind of mix-up in the food chain. And also, I mean, who wants to hunt with like a knife or an arrow? With a gun, it speeds up your adrenaline and really gets you going. That leads me to my 3rd point. Guns aren't only for killing. A lot of people all over the world like to use guns as a sport. For example, one of my friends told me that sometimes on the weekend, he and his grandpa like to go out in the backyard and shoot different targets like stumps and other kinds of things. That doesn't mean that he, when he's like 25, is going to be a murderer or killer. I mean, some other kind of criminal. Personally, I don't think guns should be banned in all places. Maybe in a spot where there's like always incidents, like with like deaths or like other kinds of shooting. Maybe, or not like in random places where there's like only 1 incident a year. My last point is based on fact that I heard from a family member. He said that if a child 4 to 9 years old had found and picked up a gun, that it would be the child's fault if he or she had hurt or injured someone else. But I say not necessarily. It would be the parent's fault for having the gun loaded and in a particular place where a child could get it. Then he gave a very, very smart answer. he said, well, okay, so let's say a robber walks into your house. You're not just going to say, oh, hold on, let me load my gun. I thought that was a smart idea, so I went back to the first place of leaving it in a place where a child could reach it. If it was like a kid my age or 7th or 8th grade wise, it wouldn't be their fault because they can easily think for themselves and say, oh, I'm going to kill someone today, or no, I'm not going to pick that up. It could really hurt me or someone else. Okay, so to sum my argument, guns should not be banned because it would increase animal population. It would decrease crime in some areas. It is a sport, and guns should not be placed or left in areas where a child can reach them.
One of the things I forgot to tell you is that during the debate, either team will have the opportunity to stand up and interrupt the speaker to ask a question or to make a point that the speaker can either choose to accept or not. And if they do accept it, they have to respond to it. So speakers, be looking at Mr. Sellers and myself, and we'll be signaling.
Hi, my name is Zach, and I'm on the side of guns should be banned because of decreased crime. Nobody needs an Uzi, a Tech 9, or an AK-47 because they were mainly designed for killing, not for sports like hunting and target practice. Like I said, the only possible use for it is to kill. For example, Stockton, California, 1989. A 25-year-old brought an AK-47 to school and shot a whole bunch of kids. 5 kids died that time. 206 shots were fired in under 2 minutes. Let's say a different gun is used, like a normal handgun. It would have considerably less amount of bullets given, such as such as enough time to stop the progress of a gunfire. But I also think there should be safety laws on guns because little kids don't know the difference between a real gun and a toy gun. For example, a 5-year-old found a gun in his mom's purse and shot his friend in the neck on his birthday. The guy died. Banning guns would almost surely result in reduced crimes because so many crimes involve firearms. For example, if you went to go rob a bank, it'd be much harder to rob it with a knife and a gun. They say that guns can be used for hunting animals, but that still takes the life of an animal, and we do it for a sport. In conclusion,
Okay, so when you say that eating or killing an animal is taking the animal's life, don't you eat hamburger, don't you eat pork? That is killing an animal, you just don't get to see it yourself.
well, it's dead before we eat it. So in conclusion, I think guns should have safety laws on them, and
Hi, my name is Amar, and I think that guns should not be banned because some people like to use guns as their own protection. So if you feel threatened, you can use your gun just to protect yourself. Some families like the
when you say that guns add a defense, wouldn't the defense need to be increased since there's no more guns in the street? Why would you need to protect yourself?
Yes, if there are guns, you can kill yourself. Okay. Some families like to pass down their weapons, like their handguns, from generation to generation until the person gets older. And if we did ban guns, crime rates really wouldn't go down because if criminals are already breaking the law, then no. If criminals are already breaking the law, why would they just follow a new law? In New York, there are already 3 million illegal guns being sold. So if we just ban guns, those guns won't just become legal, they will still stay illegal, and criminals will always just find another way to buy them illegally. It would also be impossible to ban or confiscate every single gun in the country, considering that people could be hiding them anywhere. So, in conclusion, I think guns should not be banned because it won't change anything. Criminals would always find a way to buy them.
Side for banning guns will decrease. In many countries, ban on guns reduce crime rates. The U.S. needs to ban guns so crime rates will go down. And more crimes are caused by handguns, where access to guns increases the chance of death or serious injury. Before, a kid in school brought an airsoft gun and people thought it was a real gun. So imagine what it would be like if it was a real gun. They say that people would be defenseless without guns, but I disagree because if we do ban guns, there would be a decrease of crime, so people would not have to worry of defending. They also say that crimes are committed by people, not guns, and I disagree because weapons are put into wrong hands and are used incorrectly. In conclusion, people do not have to worry about defending each other if guns are banned, and weapons are put into the wrong hands and used incorrectly.
Okay, hi, I'm Katie Stenzel, and I will be debating on the side that guns shouldn't be banned. They say that they're unnecessary and that they're only used to kill. But first, no, because there is a such thing as self-defense, and we all deserve self-defense. If we are approached and we don't feel comfortable, then we have the right to. No, thank you. You also said that they're in the hands of uncontrolled teens, and it's not actually the gun's fault because it's an inanimate object. It can't move. It doesn't have its own mind. It's actually the person. So guns don't kill people. People kill people. You can also say that there will be less crimes. And first of all, if there was a crime in the first place, they had to get it somehow, whether it was a license or whether it was stolen. But whether it was stolen is a totally different subject. They, you want to, okay.
You said that crimes are committed by people, not guns, but I disagree. They're going to wrong hands.
Well, sometimes they were stolen, and actually it's either the person that sold them that is wrong for it, or the person itself that has like a crazy mind and stole it in the first place. They also say that they're not really well used in hunting. Well, like Zoe said, the hunting thing is to decrease the population, or because it's kind of a hobby, or because it's a sport. So if you take away all those things, somebody's going to feel upset, and that will just make a bigger problem. So in conclusion, I think guns shouldn't be banned.
Hi, my name is Fatima, and I am for guns should be banned. Animal population, but I strongly disagree. Take a herd of deer and wolves. The wolves have less population, but the deers have more. The wolves will continue to hunt the deer, therefore their population will grow. Then the deers will decrease, which when the wolves have no food, their population will decrease, which causes the deer population to increase, which goes on into a whole cycle. so it wouldn't increase crime, it would just cause a collapse. And they say that guns are only used to kill, but they're also used to injure, and I think that's just as bad. It doesn't matter that some people use it for self-defense, other people use it to kill, and yes.
Say we did get rid of the gun, you could also use a bat or a knife or some other inanimate object.
That is true, but if they use that, they will give other people more time to subdue the attacker. They say that that people like to use guns for their own defense, but why would you need guns for your own defense when the crime would decrease? You don't need guns if crime decreases. They also say that people pass down guns from generation to high. Yes?
Okay, when you said that, why do you only gun for self-defense if crime would decrease? Well, as Katie said, guns aren't the only weapon in the world. There are swords, there are knives, there are arrows. You can use any kind of form that can be just as bad to harm.
That's true, but again, like I said to Katie, you would have time to subdue the attacker, and statistics show that guns are becoming the primarily used weapons. So knives and swords and all those other things you mentioned are falling out of fashion. They also say that there's 2 million hidden guns in New York. Say you guys remember the prohibition of the 80s or 90s or something. I'm not sure. But you guys remember that the government wasn't doing much to stop the banning of alcohol. If we put more effort into stopping the banning of alcohol, less alcohol would be coming into the country. Therefore, if we did that to the guns, less guns would be coming into the country. They also say that some people say that the Second Amendment protects the right of us for having guns, but in that sense, then criminals have the right to have guns, and people in jail have the right to have guns, because that is what the Second Amendment says. Second Amendment didn't say you could kill people. It says you could have the gun for self-defense, but people don't always use that. They also say that some people say that how are agencies and police going to defend themselves if guns are banned? We didn't say all guns are banned. Government agencies have the right to have guns because they're government issued. If government issued agencies only had guns, then they could have more force into it. Like if somebody robbed a bank and they have, like they said, a knife or a baseball bat, and a police comes and they have a gun, who do you think is going to win? Some people say that if a criminal walks into a public space and stops shooting and starts shooting, then nobody can, then nobody can defend themselves because guns are taken. But if the criminal walks in, there are other people to take charge of the situation, because there's not necessarily a public place. That doesn't mean that there aren't police officers there and other people there that can take charge of the situation. And while the gunner is distracted, other people can take charge, like tackle him.
Parts of it are toxic because of all the chemicals that were used to make the plastic bag. Every mile of ocean has over 46,000 pieces of plastic in it, and that can harm animals. Actually, a third of marine life dies because of plastic bags, and that's like 33%, so that's a lot. Animals can mistake them for food. Take a sea turtle, for example. Say you're a sea turtle and you're swimming along and you're hungry for your favorite snack, a jellyfish. So you see something you think is a jellyfish, and you start eating it. But then you realize that's not a jellyfish; it's a plastic bag. Like the other day, Annabelle and I were watching a video on why plastic bags are bad. And you saw a little baby sea turtle eating a plastic bag. We all know how that ended. Even when an animal dies from eating this terrible plastic, the carcass will still have plastic in it, waiting to kill another victim. In conclusion, I think that plastic bags should be banned because they are killing animals and ruining this earth.
Hi, my name is Riley, and I think we shouldn't ban plastic bags. One of the things that they say that we could use instead of plastic bags are paper bags, because they say they're more eco-friendly. But in reality, they chop down trees to make the paper bags, and it takes a lot lot more energy to produce and deliver them. For example, in the same size box, there can be 500 plastic bags and only 50 paper bags. And plastic bags are recyclable. Another thing they say that we could use are, yeah.
You say that plastic bags are recycled, but only 0.3 to 5% are recycled.
That's not the plastic bag's fault, it's just we need to do more to recycle them and enforce recycling. Like, it's not the plastic bag's fault that they're just being put into oceans, and we should enforce more recycling and at
Yes, it's not the plastic's fault, but plastic, it doesn't have emotion, it doesn't have a brain, it can't do anything. It really is us. You're saying that we should tell people that plastic bags are, that we should try to reuse them. But if we ban plastic bags, it'll actually reinforce to these people in their minds that plastic bags are good.
Yes, but what could we use in place of them? Like cloth bags, with the economy right now, they're a lot more expensive, and if you forget them at home, you're just gonna have to buy new ones. So, don't use that either. And we actually use plastic bags a lot, whether we realize it or not. Like Fatima, for example, she brings her lunch in a plastic bag every day and reuses it. And so, in conclusion, I think we should ban plastic bags because what could we use in place of them? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Evan, and I'm debating why plastic bags should be banned. About 1 trillion bags are made every year, and China uses 3 million every single day, and about 1 million are made every single minute that passes. 90% of the 1 trillion bags made are thrown away, and that's about 990 billion bags. Half a billion to 3 billion bags are recycled, which is small in comparison to how many that are actually made. It's really bad.
But then again, if we just reinforce recycling, then not only that small percent would actually, only that percent would be recycled, there would be more. And hopefully all of them.
Well, people have decided not to recycle them. They don't want to take the energy to reuse them. They just find a trash can and they say, oh, this is a good way to get rid of it. A family on average uses about 15 bags every trip to the grocery store, and if you go every weekend, that would add up to be like 780 bags in a year, and that's just for the weekend. %80 of the people that live in the U.S. decide that they want to use plastic bags over any other type, and that's a lot considering the population. San Francisco tried to pick up the bags that were thrown away or just littered all over the city, and they found that it cost them up to about $1.7 billion to pick up all of them, and 17 cents for each bag.
Why does it cost them all that money if they're just going around picking up bags?
Because you have to hire the people to do it. They won't. People don't decide to do it for nothing. They want to be paid. There are some people out there that will do it for the environment, but most people, you got to think that the people who littered them aren't going to want to go out and pick up what they did. Recycling plastic bags isn't what you really think about recycling cans or anything. They are put on a boat and taken to a different country, and then they are burned. And they burn pretty easily because plastic bags are made out of oil and petroleum. Plastic bags use 12
12 million barrels of oil to make 100 billion plastic bags. And so since there are 1 trillion bags made a year, that would be 120 million barrels of oil a year. Plastic bags have only been around for 25 years, and they made trillions of them, and they are thrown out. And who says they even go into a trash can? They could always just walk outside and throw it into the air. Then the wind blows them over to the ocean, and then they just float around on the surface. Some of the bags that are in the ocean usually go down to the bottom where they will likely never degrade or go into the soil. And if they're on the surface, it takes a lot longer for them to degrade than being on ground. We are killing our own home, and slowly, but we don't even notice it. We could use different bags, and it's just horrible what we're doing to our home. It's not. Would you like someone coming to your home and then just throwing trash everywhere and they don't care? No one would like it. In conclusion, I think that plastic bags do more harm than good, and they should be banned, and it will help the environment.
Plastic bags shouldn't be banned. Well, first of all, they say that they can be replaced by canvas bags and paper bags, but like my team said, paper bags cost more to produce, and also they use more energy, and canvas bags cost more to buy and are less plentiful.
Plastic bags cost half of what they are made, how much they cost to be made. It's just like paying for them again.
Yeah, well, also paper bags end up in landfills just about as long as plastic bags. So also, like my team said, plastic bags are 100% recyclable. It's just the people who don't choose to recycle them. So what we really need to do instead of banning them is just educate people on how to properly dispose of them. Oh, thank you. And then also at grocery stores, they have recyclable bins where you can just drop them off. So they say, imagine that you're a little baby sea turtle swimming in the ocean. Well, imagine that you just lost your job and you still have a whole family to feed. So you go grocery shopping one day and then you realize that all the prices are higher. Why? Well, because if we did ban plastic bags, then it would be more expensive to consumers to buy products.
Plastic bags actually cost consumers $4 billion a year.
Well, if canvas bags would cost even more because maybe you have to buy them in the first place, and if you do all of your grocery shopping in one, you would need more, and sometimes you forget them at home. So in conclusion, I think that plastic bags shouldn't be banned because people just really need to recycle them, and they have a lot of uses.
Hi, I'm Annabelle, and I will be arguing about why plastic bags should be banned. So, my opposing team says that paper bags are bad. Well, first of all, this isn't even about paper bags. The name plastic bags is in the title of the debate, so I think that should just be disregarded. They also said...
Yeah, but if we ban plastic bags, then what can we use in place of them? We have to have other opportunities, like we have to have Plan B.
Cloth bags? That can always be a Plan B. Yes.
Yes, but when you put your trash into a cloth bag, you can't do that because the cloth bag will spoil and it'll smell really bad. It just doesn't work.
Well, we never said the trash bag should be banned. We're just talking about the plastic bags that you usually get at the grocery store. It is still made of plastic, but they're easier. So, anyways, sorry. Okay, they also said that plastic bags are recyclable. That is true, but only about 0.3 to 5% are actually recycled, and that's really not that much. It's only about 210 million people, and out of the 7 billion people on this earth, that's really not much. No, thank you. Okay.
Another thing that my opposing team said is that it's not the plastic's fault. Well, yeah, of course it's not the plastic's fault, it's the people's fault. And if we ban plastic bags, this will reinforce their minds that plastic bags are killing this earth and that they harm millions of animals and they're harming the environment. Isn't everyone all eco-friendly? Why shouldn't plastic bags be banned if everyone's on the bandwagon for that? The last thing they said is that cloth bags cost too much. They may cost more to consume than plastic bags, but honestly, again, like I said, plastic bags are costing $4 billion to consumers each year. And if we were to spend another $1 billion in making cloth bags, it would really be worth it to save the earth that we live in. In conclusion, plastic bags are ruining our earth, which is killing us. They hurt the environment, animals, oceans, and way too many are used. I don't know how this earth will make it if we keep using plastic bags. Thank you.
So my name is Evan, and I'm going to be debating that plastic bags should not be banned. They say that 10 countries have already banned plastic bags, but it's good for those 10 countries, but there's obviously a reason that the other countries haven't banned the plastic bags. They also say that in every mile of ocean there's plastic bags, but there wouldn't be plastic bags if people actually recycled them. And people could start recycling them if there was bins for people to recycle them. Yes.
Well, you say that people could recycle them, but they made a choice to throw them away. They made the choice, and they don't care about it. And what do you think they would care about now?
Well, there could be bins for people to recycle plastic bags, and if people put up signs that said if we recycle plastic bags, it can save the earth, and that might encourage people that throw the bags away to start recycling their bags. They say that paper is more eco-friendly, but really the paper bags release more CO2 into the air because it takes a lot more energy to make them in the factory, and all the energy is CO2 into the air.
Well, you say it uses a lot of energy, but the amount of petroleum jelly used to make a plastic bag can make a car go a mile.
Well, it's good for all the oil to make a car run a mile, go a mile, but if we didn't have plastic bags, then we would be using paper bags, which would release CO2 into the air, which would affect the atmosphere, or the cloth bags, you have to buy them at the store. The plastic bags you can just buy, you can get free with whatever you buy. Yes.
Cloth bags are actually only 99 cents, and if you spend, $15 on 15 reusable bags, it's good because you use them, so it'll actually be worth it.
Well, if you get plastic bags when you go to the store, you can also bring the plastic bags back, and you get the bags for free, and 99 cents will eventually add up to a lot. They say that 90% of the bags are thrown away, but again, if we made bins that were recycling bins, or made signs that say recycle your bags, then it would be a lot less than 90% that are thrown away. They say that an average person gets about 15 bags for one trip to the grocery store, but that's 15 bags that you could reuse again and again at the grocery store. So, in conclusion, I think that we should keep plastic bags because you can reuse them just like the other bags, and they're more eco-friendly than paper bags.
My friends, they've only had 8 classes, 1 class per week for 8 weeks, and I'm impressed. I hope you are as well.